red side of the jungle. So I'm curious to see how this Karthus pick works, because it might be a case of, okay, we're going to pick Lucian, they're going to have a lot of AP bans. This is something we've considered from the beginning. Maybe it's part of why Johan is in today, or it could just be a nice response here on the fly decision making from the side of the coaching staff here for Hanwha Life Esports. But I'm worried about it, right? I have a lot of question marks about how efficient it is going to be. Same thing to be said, though, about this Tom Kent's pick on the bottom side of the map for DRX. A lot of this game is going to be decided by the jungles getting leads to the top or bottom side of the map, I feel, because otherwise this game feels very straightforward, and I'm a little bit worried about where Karthus fits into that, because he's the least straightforward part about it.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see as we are hopping onto the Rift for game number 1 of match 55, DRX against Hanwha.
But it feels like someone back at the good old Rito RNG button has flipped the switch again, as they do not know about Johan here.
Oh, they're flashing forward, trying to get those concussive blows onto Bao, but just going to trade a couple of flashes. And
so exciting to see how that's going to pan out, what he's going to build. It's because Bomby Cinder already. He's just going to build Chem Tank.
This is one spot where you can really pressure the Orianna. The back massage comes in, and Solka, you talked about getting the Orianna low.
Yeah.
Solka was like, do I get a chance to breathe here? And he even throws out the shockwave. He has no teleport, no mana. He cannot help in this fight. This Rift Herald will be Hanwha Life's unless Pyosik can pull off a miracle steal. You can see he's trying to put in these spears, and they're actually going to commit to this. They don't have an Orianna right now. This is basically a 5v4 as the Renekton will get gobbled up and spit out. But now they're trying to frontline over here on the top side as Kingen gets so much damage. Morgan with the big engage is going to follow up here, and Bao just does not do enough. He picks up the 1 kill, but that is just about it. And Johan picks up the Rift Herald after all that from afar while he's farming, while he's pushing the mid lane. So, the Nidalee not even that tanky. You got to be careful about the dive as Solka desperately trying to pressure Johan here. The flash does come out, and Toby, they've angered Toby. Pyosik going to have to flash away as here comes the bottom lane now. Not able to get that root onto Johan, but Toby gets extremely low. Vista in the front, able to block in a huge manner and get Toby to safety as they get a lot of the damage done to those plates, but DRX are looking to strike back here in the mid lane.
Yeah, DRX definitely turning this into a much better situation than it could have been. As Morgan is like, yeah, I know Pyosik's nearby. Just going to center this turret. A lot of minions, though.
All right, they're going for it. Morgan has read this very nicely. He is going to flash away from the spear, but it looks like they should have enough damage, and there it is.
The cast...
One Spinorama is enough.
Yeah, the cast, just isn't enough. Pushes him away, actually. Not going to help, because you got to ult the wave at this point if you're Solka.
Yeah.
So give me some of those turret shots.
Man, Solka! You're playing with fire, man!
Here we go!
Okay. Well, the Senna ult was late, but still, he is going to survive because of that shield.
But look, this is exactly what I said from the beginning. Like, you almost kill him, but then Johan tries, right? And he does barely survive, even with the mistimed Becca ult there, but it's the nerf to Sterox and Gore Drinker. Hold that thought. Kingen going in.
All right, trying to get on top of Toby here, but he doesn't have the damage to do it alone. He is going to get devoured here, but in goes the Kai'Sa, and a quick Acathian Rain is going to be the end of him. And Tom Kent's in this meta, not enjoying his life right now. He's just going to jump over the wall, flash rather, and get completely annihilated.
Her damage completed. Like she's just not at the stage of the game where she can actually fight this on her own, and like it's Renekton who engages. So this could be something.
Spear is on time, and Toby's gearing up for a 1v2. Can he do it is the question. Dodges the shockwave, but the damage seems like too much. As the Zhonya's does get used there right at the end, just to make sure. Gonna overcommit just yet.
I mean, look at this. Bao does a decent amount of damage, actually. He's spoken as much as he can, and he is very, very survivable at the front line. Just gonna chip.
Okay. Johan nearly dies. Just to, I think it was a spear and a little chip away from the Senna. Morgan in an awkward spot here, gonna get slowed. And now that their Karthus is so low, it's not as easy for Hanwha Life to just walk straight over to the Infernal Drake.
with this composition.
I don't think there's any denying this, right? Can Pyosik even get in position here? The Braum ultimate does go down, and the Kaisa gets it after everything, as Johan will be the first one to go down. And he does not have that Requiem, actually, at this moment in time. So Hamalife just on the run after picking up that Baron, as Deft is going to get the 1 kill on his way out of here. And he's even going in. Flashes over the wall. This guy is just insane. And DRX, they're not going to give up just yet. This is pretty dangerous. You got to respect that Kaisa damage right now. But they are not. The damage goes in. Morgan, I think he went a little bit too far. As in goes Chovy. Now they're looking to turn it around. Chovy gets into that back line. And he doesn't have a front line anymore. He's going to take down Pyosik.
I don't think he cares.
And he's going to get the blue buff. Make it 2. Can we make it 3? There it is. He's going to pick up the 4th as well. And it's not a penta, but it's good enough for Chovy and his 6,400 damage.
I mean, that might be the first of the last moments in this game here. I mean, that's that might be the death throws for DRX, like, because I don't think so.
And he was farming in the mid lane the whole time before that.
Yeah.
As Kingen now, he's trying to get on top of Deft. They're finally going to do it. How about a bonus Karthus? They will be able to get it. Here comes the Requiem. Does a decent amount of damage, but really it's just trying to take the pressure off of this mid lane. Don't think it's going to work too well. We got pushing in the side lane here from Chovy. But DRX just don't seem to care. They're just going to push down the mid lane.
Yeah. I mean, this is going to be a trade that you're definitely happy with as DRX. Chovy doesn't have teleport. It's just going to take a turret and then head back, it looks like. DRX shouldn't be able to push an inhibitor. They're all very low. In fact, Chovy could take the long walk and try to trap them here if they stay too long. Push here with Deft.
Oh, God. Wait. He's back! They can't stop him. They see Chovy and they just run away. He's almost 6,000 gold ahead of I almost said Showmaker. Solka here.
Speaking of?
Yeah, I mean, you can't step forward onto this guy now. The only way you can engage onto this is if you get a really actual hard engage from the Renekton. Really nice poke coming out here, and okay, we just lose our Karthus just like that. That's the effect of Nidalee Senna combo, I suppose, onto a guy who is extremely squishy at this point. No Zhonya's on the Karthus, just going straight down. Poke on the side of DRX, and his one-way in. Chovy just goes to the backline, nearly just blows up Becca, as the Requiem is going to do insane amounts of damage to that backline. And you can see everybody on the side of DRX now is just on the run. They're all being chased by a giant shark that is Chovy and friends. And they gave it their best shot. Pyosik's going to try to come in. Well, he ran out of time there. The dragon died in about 3.5 seconds. So Infernal Soul does go the way of Hamalife, and this one is looking all but over.
I mean, Infernal Soul is so good with Karthus, too. It's it's unbelievable. This is DRX. I mean, they don't have great engage, right? They just have really good and consistent damage.
Okay, this is one way to do it. You just find Chovy in an awkward spot, and they're going to kill him. Chovy gets caught out, and he was the one member that they really did not want to get caught, because now DRX have a chance here to take the Baron and maybe claw a way back in this game.
Yeah, I mean, that's 1,000 gold, too, actually, going over to DRX as well, with the shutdown gold coming through. They've got a Baron play. And I think without Chovy denying this, it's just kind of out of the question. You don't have any way to get Johan in position to smite this. Like, I mean, he's going to try to just walk up, but I don't think so.
Yeah, Karthus against Renekton, not a fun time. As, you know, he'll try to do a bit of poke damage here, but I don't think anyone's getting in there. Unless Deft can do something crazy, no. The answer will be. As Morgan going to get slowed up. That's a nice Braum ultimate, but it's not going to save your life. As another spear comes in, and Pyosik is actually going to force another flash. As DRX somehow finding a way to make this happen.
This is so DRX. Put 30 minutes plus with 31 minutes into the game. It looks like everything's stacked against him for Drake's Infernal Soul.
This game is in a really weird spot now for Hamalife. They were just so dominant, and now they're like, wait, what's happening to our base? As here we go, Pyosik may have overstepped the boundaries. As a nice ultimate comes out from Vista, but he kind of oversteps as well. Got to be careful about that. Still a nice amount of poke on the side. There's going to be a shockwave. Catches only Morgan. As in goes King, and he is just a monster right now. They're going to take down the Gragas just like that. And Chovy's losing a front line bit by bit. It's not going to be easy for him to just solo carry 1v9 anymore. DRX, they may have found a way to win this game.
I think so. I mean, good luck, Chovy. It's all on you, man. You're going to have to save this game. You've got one shot at this 4v5 team fight you're going to have to crush.
Yeah, the hardest part is the Baron minions. You got to get rid of them somehow. There's so much anti-Karthus shielding that comes in as well. And can they do it? Trying to get on top of Depth. Remember, he's in this game as well. Johan's still alive.
Morgan's up in 15. I think they might actually have held this.
They have.
Very well handled. Very patient and calm defense here for Hanwha Life Esports.
Yeah,
to take it.
Well, we'll have to wait and see how these fights actually go down, because the late game comp from the side of DRX is still incredible. They're trying to turn this one around. Pyosik nearly just dies as Kingen has to frontline, but down goes Pyosik, and that's a big shockwave. He does get Depth, but with so many threats on the side of Hanwha Life still, I'm not sure that DRX have this fight. In goes Chovy now. He's found his way. The Requiem comes in, and Solka going to take an immense amount of damage, but the most important thing is that they actually survive. But with the Elder Drake up, I think Hanwha Life should be able to get it.
I don't think Solka can stop this. There's just no way. I mean, obviously, Bao isn't going to be able to do anything here. In this game, like I said, I mean, my money's on Hanwha Life Esports taking this because they've showcased in every straight-up fight that they have the better team fighting composition. As they're just going to take this Baron down the second it spawns, they're already ready for it. DRX can't contest. They could try to go for a base raid.
Look at how fast it dies. It's like 4 seconds. Down it goes. As you mentioned, yeah. Easily these objectives are Hanwha Life's.
Elder goes down in 20, so hold on for a second if you can.
Now they're just going to get on in there. Morgan catches the catfish, and down he will go. Executed immediately. And guess who loves Elder buff? It's Karthus. He's looking for it. As in fact, Morgan will steal another kill there. This is just looking pretty inevitable. Hanwha Life, it looks like, even though they were on death's doorstep, they have found a way to make the game rightfully theirs. As Depth is not going to do anything crazy. He's going to be able to get away. Down will go the Nexus, and Hanwha Life will win game number 1. Stats ready to go, as we're going to take a look at them here. Just some insane damage numbers from the side of Hanwha Life. Once we got to the super late game, it was really hard to really handle all the Karthus damage. Even though they did have like a lot of different tools to try, it just wasn't enough in the super late game. And even Depth, who was the third amount of damage on his team, was more than everybody else on the side of DRX. Yeah. So, like I said, you know, you give even one Infernal Drake, but then they gave the 2 and the Soul. And this comp is just going to eventually just shred through anything.
Yeah. Not to mention that, like, Hanwha Life Esports were the only team that took real team fights. Like, the most of the kills we saw for DRX were just picks, right? So that's going to be reflected in your damage. Sports have around the top side. And because the bottom side of the map with this Felios Thresh is going to be a matchup where very likely lane priority goes to Hanwha Life Esports, that means that Vista can also be roaming around and be frustrating to deal with in the mid lane. There's so many ways this early game just goes disastrously for the side of DRX. The Skarner pick, I'm not super sold on it. It has a lot of pick potential, you know, when Impale is unlocked at level 6, but I feel like it's way harder to execute than what we're seeing here for Hanwha Life Esports.
Now, we'll have to wait and see. Hanwha Life, their comp, you know, it's pretty heavy on the AD. I'm not sure that Morgan's going to be building AP in the top side, but, you know, obviously Udyr has it, but it's not like he's the guy that's, like, shelling out punches with this Phoenix all the time in these fights. So, do the Udyr thing. You just immediately get impaled and burst down. You're not going to be having a good time, and I really do like that last pick Skarner for Pyosik. And
yeah,
if there's any guy that understands Udyr's weaknesses.
Sure.
Yeah, just bringing back an oldie but a goodie. Certainly going to be feeling very nice. Very curious about the mid lane matchup. Solka, obviously the Lucian versus Orianna was a little bit more difficult. Going to hold that thought. We have a bit of a 2-on-2. Johan's actually down a level, and they're going for Chovy. Look at how deep Pyosik is going. He's going to get that smite off for the extra health, but at this point, skirmishing with the Skarner, not the best. You know, if you can land that stun with your E, you're going to like it, but you can see now they've actually split up Johan and Chovy, but they don't seem to really
lose his farm. So it was very aggressive from Hanwha Life Esports at the end result.
Oh boy. Bao has the lantern, but he doesn't have flash anymore. And look at Vista, just stands on it. First blood.
See you
as
later.
Easy as that. Of course, it is a bit easier when you're playing something like a Lucian, like a Renekton, but Let's take a look at this now. Becca is going to have to flash away as the follow-up hook does come in from Becca, but Vista is going to get sniped here a little bit, but he should be totally fine. Doesn't even have to flash away from that one, so no biggie. Able to get out of there.
Yeah, they had mid-prio, so they went for it, but there were so many minions that, that there were... DRX was just not able to, or rather, the Hanwha Esports had to back off. Bot duo there. Pyosik looking for something here. I don't know about this, my dude.
He gets the Impale, but it's not anywhere near his opponents. I feel like Deft and Vista played that really well, though. They forced the fight, and they forced the Impale very early on.
If that grab, that hook hits at the end of it.
Neither of them have flash, and just Johan is getting right in there. He's getting a lot of damage done, actually. And I misspoke. Actually, Bao had his flash. Not going to matter, though, as they get Becca instead. Yeah.
The winners in the history are the ones we remember. Right?
That's actually true in this case. Oh, man.
Okay, well, Chovy going to get hooked.
Yeah, he's in a bit of an awkward spot. He eats a ton of damage here, but the rest of his team immediately follows up in the backline. But Vista is not tanky at all, and he goes a little bit too deep here. Pyosik just easily able to handle that pressure. Johan kind of gets in and gets out, but we'll see if he actually does get out here, as so much burst will follow up, and down he will go. DRX are backing. Chovy's getting a lot of damage done to the turret. This is going to be Vista in an awful spot, though. A little bit too aggressive that time around. Just gets caught out.
Teleport coming through here very late.
Morgan's got a pretty nice angle. He's about to turn into a 5-on-5. Chovy takes a bunch of poke damage from Bao already. But they need better positioning in here, DRX, if they want to try to get this Drake, as in goes the Impale. But there's no damage follow-up, as in the backline, there's just so much work being done by Morgan, as Kingan just gets dunked on the top side of this fight by Hanwha Life, and they're able to pull off a big kill, as now Solka over the top. That's a nice hook onto Bao. It's a big slow. That comes in with that one, and now they're going in. Do they have the damage to find the Aphelios? Yes, they do, as Johan will be on cleanup duty. And the Drake didn't go down yet, but it's going to be Hanwha Life at the end of the fight. They
aren't going to get the local goal, but also the inner turret in mid lane went down because Solka had to teleport in between a rock and a hard place.
Ooh, DRX really committing to taking out this turret, but they may have just gotten themselves in a really awkward spot. This is just all over the place right now. Solka just dies for nothing on the left side, and take a look at the top side. Bao also gets caught out. And this fight was just way too all over the place for DRX. Hanwha Life pounce on them. And yes, Pyosik and Kingan will survive, but the two carries, the two guys, they need to do something in any of these team fights, immediately go down.
I mean, this is a lose-lose situation for DRX. Like, you know, it's unreasonable to push the turret.
Yeah. It also highlights the insane power of Kai'Sa's kit. The fact that she can just totally reposition in that case. As, here we go. Everybody tries to flash away from that one. 3 flashes were used. And yes, they get away from the Malphite, but it doesn't look like they'll get away from anything else. Bao is desperately trying to carry this one, but he just cannot at this point in time. It's a bit too far gone, as you're not going to be able to run away from this comp by any means. Pyke Udyr will just laugh at you, as they're going to pick off a bunch more members. And how about a nice little Mountain Soul as the cherry on top?
Every objective belongs to them because they get this Mountain Soul, and where do you think they're going? They're going to push, like right now you see Chovy's pushing out the bot lane. Going to put some extra pressure on that inner turret, and then he's going to head straight over to the Baron with the rest of his squad. He does not have teleport, so he'll have to physically walk there. But look at the vision they have to the north of the Drake pit.
The pieces around him as well. And now in game 2 here, the drafting was really awesome, and they were able to get a nice early lead that kind of leads to this situation. I still like the Skarner. You know, there were moments where I thought he would be good, but this is kind of where it ends up. Where you're pulling the Malphite, and it's like, please don't kill me. And he's not going to amount to too much here. As now the Pyke is just going to get out of hand. He's going to get 2. Val gets enough of a shield to make it away. But it's just 2 free kills into a Baron at this point in time.
Yeah, I can just clear these wards out. Like, look at how many wards are here. Like, what? Look at Chovy's ward score. He's actually cleared so many wards and he's been all over the map. He's had full control over anything that the DRX are trying to do. Like, if he runs into a Skarner in the jungle, he's not scared. And if he runs into anybody else, like, he just kills them. So he's just freely able to roam around after these exchanges.
There from this, as we do have another fight here. Have they found someone? The answer is no. They just don't have the damage to burst through that Mountain Soul.
Vista is not done yet. He's coming around.
Yeah, here he comes.
Here we go.
King, and there's the hook. And, well, okay, he's got the Guardian Angel, so he's going to hold on to that ultimate for now. Solka will go down, as will King. And it's just as easy as that.
I don't know, like, esports just take this out. Solka's not here for the stun. They have this Baron wave.
Oh,
goodbye.
Boy. Yeah, 2 knockups immediately. Not able to run away from this one. Bao is so desperate to do any kind of damage, but they've been stacking armor, and nobody can do anything to the side of Hanwha Life as the turrets will be knocked down. Solka and Bao desperate to try to stop them here. Do they have the damage to take it down? Yes, they do. Deft will get the final hit.
There you go. And taking a look at the stats, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, look, so much more damage in, like, overall for DRX, but their team fights were not meaningful, right? They had a little bit of poke, they had a little bit of chip, but the engages meant that people just went 100-0 so many times for DRX.
Yeah. You know, you can have high damage numbers, but a lot of that is mitigated by the insane amount of armor stacking that they had. They were like, yeah, we can deal with Solka, but the real problems are King and Bao, and